Jai Jai Shri Sudarshana. Welcome to the final day of our Ramayana camp. Very, very, very happy to have had interaction with all of you all these days. Romba romba sandosham. Inniki கடந்த 5 நாள் மாதிரி நம்ம ராமாயணத்துல இருந்து ஒரு லெசன் பார்க்க போறோம், ஒரு கேரக்டர் பார்க்க போறோம், 2 ஸ்லோகங்கள் கத்துக்க போறோம். சாஸ்திரா பாயிண்ட் இன்னைக்கு இல்ல. அதுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம SMeP பத்தி ஒரு குட்டி ஓரியன்டேஷன் பார்க்க போறோம். After which we'll have presentation by all of you, either in the form of story or shloka. So let's get started. Just on the PPT. So since today is the final day, again we'll just quickly summarize what we did. We have been doing a summary every day. Today we'll just do it a little more in detail. On day 1 we learnt a lesson from Rama about how to stay calm and do what is right. He displayed these qualities of calmness and righteousness when some people challenged him about his decision to going to the forest. His own mother Kausalya thought that him going to the forest was not right, and he had a leeway. He had a way to escape from that, because Shastras say that you can listen to your mother. And as a mother, Kausalya gave him an advice that he can refrain from going to the forest. But Rama gave a befitting reply to Kausalya by saying that it is true that I should be listening to you, but it's also true that you should be listening to our father, who's elder to both of us. And that way he did what was right. Then came Lakshmana, who told Rama to revolt against Dasharatha's decision, overthrow him and become the king himself. Rama told Lakshmana that by doing this we are not setting the right example, so we should refrain from doing this. Then Bharata came to the forest and tried to make Rama return to the kingdom, to which Rama said that we have no rights to decide otherwise than what our father has told before, because a sale or a deed which has been given by a person is his verdict. That cannot be challenged by anybody after him. Be it you or me, we don't have the right to change our father's decision, Rama told Bharata. That way he again did what was right. Then on the first day we saw the character Shatrughna, who thought that he was a belonging of Bharata. He was a devotee's devotee, and that is the best form of devotion one can possess. The next day we saw Jatayu, who gave us the lesson of how to speak sensibly. When Jatayu gave the news about Sita's abduction to Rama, he gave the message in a very crisp manner. He gave the message in a very caring manner. He told Rama to stay calm, and he told Rama to stay positive. So how to speak is a lesson that we learn from Jatayu. Then we learnt about the character Trijata on day 2, who was a Rakshasi who was guarding Sita in the Ashokavana, but she was unlike the other Rakshasis who tried to torment Sita. Despite being in their company, Trijata held on to her goodness. Not only that, she could identify the true nature of Sita. She knew that Sita was very, very compassionate and forgiving, and so she advised the Rakshasis to seek the refuge of Sita. On day 3 we saw Hanuman, who taught us the lesson go beyond. Whenever you're given a task, you should perform the task with excellence. You should complete it properly, and if you can, you should try to do extra, but while doing extra, your original task should not be hampered. All this we saw in the story where Hanuman went and met Sita at Lanka. He completed the task of conveying the news to Sita, he also found out about Ravana and Lanka, and he also burnt the city of Lanka to give a warning to Ravana. And while doing all this, he ensured that there was no hindrance to the original task that was given to him, that is meeting Sita and taking back her message to Rama. On the same day, we learnt about the characters, that is Vibhishana's assistants. From these people, we understand that if we follow somebody who is righteous, somebody who is doing the right thing, then great good is in store for us. Like Vibhishana's assistants were given asylum by Rama without any questioning or any doubt. On day 4, we learnt about how to be compassionate from Sita Devi. Sita Devi had the biggest of hearts to forgive those Rakshasis who were tormenting her for 10 long months. So when Hanuman wanted to actually harm them, she was compassionate enough to say that who is not a sinner on this earth? So we must forgive. Forgiving is strength. We also saw the character Sumitra on the same day, who was an ideal parent who told her son to have the right attitude for the challenging task that he was going to take up. Yesterday, we saw multiple lessons about how to avoid the unnecessary. We saw 4 examples. We saw how we must avoid promising in haste like Dasharatha. We saw how we should not get influenced by jealousy like Kaikeyi. We saw how we must not support injustice like Kumbhakarna. And we also saw that we should never fear to do the right thing like Vibhishana. And we saw the example of Shabari as a character yesterday, who displayed unparalleled Acharya Bhakti or devotion to her preceptors, which gave her unique service to Rama. Today, day 6, we are going to learn the lesson of honor friendship. This is a lesson about friendship, which is very, very important to students like us, isn't it? So who's teaching us this lesson? Again, Rama is teaching us this lesson. And the lesson is taught when Rama is taking up the oath of friendship with Sugriva. Now, we all know the story of the Ramayana. We have been visiting it to and fro last 5 days. So now this is the story of the Ramayana, where Rama and Lakshmana have come in search of Sita, and they have got to know from Kabandha that seeking the friendship of the monkey king Sugriva at the Rishyamukha hill would help them in the search of Sita. So Rama and Lakshmana proceeded to the Rishyamukha hill, which was on the banks of the lake Pampa. They met Hanuman there, who understood that these were good souls, and he took them to his king Sugriva. Now, when he met Sugriva and both of them exchanged their plight was that both of them had lost their wives, and Sugriva had lost his kingdom also to his brother Vali. So both of them solemnized a friendship in front of fire. So the first thing in friendship is the commitment to help. Both of them committed to help each other because both of them were in need. So the first thing that a friend must do is, if another friend is in trouble, you have to help him get out of the trouble. So both of them swore in front of fire that they would help each other. So that is the first thing of friendship. You should be committed to your friend to help the friend in need. The next thing is not mistaking the intent of a friend. Now what happened was, after they swore in front of fire, they had to decide who would help first, right? Both of them had lost some things and they had to help each other. So who was going to help the other person first? So Rama said, Sugriva, I will help you first, because when you get back your kingdom, it will be easy for us to search Sita. Sugriva too agreed to this. Now Sugriva had some doubts, because Sugriva knew that his brother Vali was very, very, very valorous, very strong. So he wanted to know if Rama was capable enough of defeating Vali. So Sugriva put two tests in front of Rama. Initially, he told Rama that, see, Rama, I understand you're a very brave prince, but then my brother was really, really brave and strong. I told you the story of that Mayavi with whom my brother fought, and I mistook that Mayavi had killed my brother. Do you remember that? Sugriva asked Rama. Now, do you all remember that, my dear children? I had told you the story on day 3. So, this Mayavi had a brother called Dundubi, who came to meet Vali even before Mayavi did. Now, Dundubi was a very, very strong Rakshasa. Vali fought Dundubi. He caught hold of Dundubi in his hand, whirled him like a string, and threw him away. He threw away Dundubi such that Dundubi fell and died. He could swirl the body of Dundubi and throw it away. Now this body of Dundubi came and fell at the Rishyamukha hill, where the sage Matanga was doing penance at that time. So he was so annoyed that he cursed Vali that since you threw this dead body here without any regard, if you come here, you will be destroyed. That is why Vali was not able to enter the Rishyamukha hill, and that became very convenient for Sugriva to hide in that place away from Vali. So he was there. Now all the story Sugriva is telling to Rama. See, my brother was so valorous that he threw this Dundubi like that. And that Dundubi's body has now dried up and it has become a skeleton. I will show you that skeleton. You just see if you can move this skeleton. Now Rama went and saw that skeleton of Dundubi, and it seems he just ticked that skeleton with his left toe tip. With the tip of his left toe, left leg's toe, Rama just slightly tipped that skeleton. That was a big, huge skeleton. And that skeleton fell 100 miles away. So that was the power of Rama. Sugriva was impressed. He was impressed, but then not completely, because he had an argument. He said, see, when my brother Vali threw this Dundubi, he was alive. He was full of flesh and blood. And at that time, Vali had thrown him away. Vali had thrown him just about 10 miles. Now Rama threw him 100 miles away. Still, he was flesh and blood at that time, and now this is mere skeleton. It is dry. So I still have my doubts if you can match the valor of Vali, said Sugriva. And after that, Sugriva said one more thing. My brother Vali could shake some sala trees, big, gigantic trees. And he had the power to combat these trees. So Rama said, I will give you a test. I will appear for a test. Saying so, he took up an arrow from his quiver and shot it at 7 sala trees, which were all present in a zigzag manner. His arrow pierced through 7 trees, and it pierced the ground. It went up to the Patala Loka and came back and sat in Rama's quiver. After this, Sugriva became very convinced that Rama is indeed capable of defeating Vali. Now, Sugriva put Rama to these 2 tests. Rama was going to help Sugriva in something, and when somebody comes to help you, are you supposed to say thank you, or are you supposed to say, let me test you? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to say thank you, right? But Sugriva didn't say that first. He said, I am thankful you want to help me, but then I have my doubts. And he actually tested Rama 2 times. Now, how Rama took these tests is what we need to understand. He understood Sugriva's state of mind. He understood his intent. He understood that Sugriva was now so scared. He was so insecure that he could not trust anybody because his own blood brother, who was so dear to him, had mistrusted him at some point of time. So Sugriva had lost trust in general in people, and he was extremely scared of Vali. So all these things clouded his mind and made him doubt Rama. It was not that he had anything against Rama in his mind. Rama could understand this real intent of Sugriva because he had accepted Sugriva as his friend, and so he did not mistake the intent of his friend. So that is very important in friendship. Sometimes in friendship, it may so happen that you may have some little argument with your friends and some unnecessary words might come out. But you should remember that if your friend is a true friend, then probably he or she does not have an intent of hurting you with those words. So if you understand the intent, then don't mistake your friend. Let it go. It's okay. Afterwards, the friend himself will come and say sorry. So it's very important to it is very important not to mistake the intent of a friend. Now the third thing is, you should have good concern for a friend. Should have deep concern for a friend. Now where did we see this? When Rama and Sugriva became friends, Rama defeated Vali and after that Sugriva's search party went in search of Sita, and Hanuman found Sita. We all know that, right? After that, Vibhishana came and joined Rama. Then they built the Setu, the bridge across the ocean, and they crossed the ocean and went to Lanka. When they went to Lanka, Sugriva climbed on a mountain top and started seeing what was happening in Lanka. He happened to see Ravana in his palace at that time. That was the first time Sugriva saw Ravana. The moment he saw Ravana, Sugriva got so angry that he felt like thrashing Ravana. He actually jumped from there, went to the palace of Ravana and tried to hit him. Would Ravana keep quiet? He hit back Sugriva, took out his crown and sent him away. Sugriva came with his crown in hand and he came back to Rama. Rama was so startled at this. He said, Sugriva, what is this? What were you about to do? Had something happened to you? What was the use of me doing all this? Even if I get back Sita, will I be happy having lost you? If I lose you, what will I do with Sita or even Lakshmana, Shatrughna or Bharata or even with myself? Without you, a dear friend like you, what is the meaning of anything? Such was the concern Rama had for friends. So you have to really care for your friends. If they are doing something stupid without knowing or something out of over enthusiasm, you must safeguard them. You must try to warn them not to do so. This was done by Rama. Now the fourth thing that we need to know about friendship is, you should always hold your friends in high esteem. Now this event happened after the war. When the war was over, Rama defeated Ravana, redeemed Sita, and he came back to Ayodhya. When he came back to Ayodhya, he got his coronation done. Now for the coronation, he had to proceed to the palace. At that time, it is said that Rama went in a chariot which was driven by Bharata, and Shatrughna held the umbrella. Lakshmana was doing the chamara service. He was fanning, and Vibhishana too was fanning with another fan. Now where was this dear friend Sugriva? It seems Rama told Sugriva to mount the royal elephant Shatrunjaya and come along. The royal elephant is a big honorary seat that is given only to special people. Rama gave that seat to his dear friend Sugriva before his coronation. So he made Sugriva sit on Shatrunjaya and come into the palace. Such was his regard for Sugriva. So you have to hold your friends in high esteem. Right? So what do we understand about friendship? 4 things. We should have commitment to help a friend. We should never mistake the intent of a friend. We should have deep concern for a friend, and we should hold a friend in high esteem. and all these were shown by Rama. Now we go over this lesson in Tamil quickly. இன்னிய பாடம் நட்பை பத்தி ராம சுக்ரீவ நட்பு அப்படிங்கறதுல இருந்து 4 விஷயங்கள் நம்மளால கத்துக்க முடியாது. முதல்ல நண்பனுக்கு உதவி செய்யணும் அப்படிங்கிற சங்கல்பம் வேணும். எப்போ ஒரு நண்பனுக்கு எந்த உதவி தேவைனாலும் உனக்காக நான் இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு வரணுமா, முன் வரணுமா. அதுதான் ராம சுக்ரீவ சக்கியத்துல அவ 2 பேரும் அக்னி முன்னாடி ஒத்தருக்கொத்தர் சத்தியம் பண்ணிண்டா. அடுத்தபடியா நண்பனுக்கு எண்ணம் நல்லது அப்படிங்கறதுல நம்பிக்கை வேணும். நண்பனுடைய எண்ணத்தை சந்தேகப்படக்கூடாது. ஒரு சில சமயங்கள்ல நண்பன் வாயிலேந்து வேற மாதிரி வார்த்தைகள் வந்துடலாம், ஆனாலும் அவனோட எண்ணம் தூய்மையானதுதான் அப்படிங்கிறது நமக்கு உறுதியா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். அவன் நண்பன்னு தீர்மானிச்சுட்டோம்னா அவன் நல்லவன் தான் அப்படிங்கிறதுல நமக்கு உறுதியான ஒரு எண்ணம் வேணும். அதனாலதான் ராமனுக்கு சுக்ரீவன் 2 பரீட்சைகள் வச்சான். வாலிய சம்ஹரிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கும் பொழுது, வாலி எவ்வளவு பலசாலி தெரியுமா, ராமா வாலி அளவுக்கு உனக்கு பலம் இருக்கா அப்படின்னு நான் பார்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு சுக்ரீவன் துந்துபியினுடைய கங்காள கூட்டத்தை தூக்கி போட சொன்னா. அது தூக்கி போட்ட பிறகும் நம்பிக்கை வராம சால மரங்களை சாய்க்க சொன்னா, அத பெருமாள் ஆச்சரியமா சாட்சத்துக்கு அப்புறம் தான் அவனுக்கு நம்பிக்கை வந்தது. இப்படி இந்த மாதிரி நம்மள பரீட்சைகள் கொடுக்க சொல்றானே, இவன் போய் நம்மள சந்தேகப்பட்டுட்டானேன்னு ராமர் தப்பா நினைச்சுக்கல. நண்பனை தப்பா நினைக்க கூடாது அப்படிங்கிற பாடத்தை இதனால காமிச்சு கொடுத்தார். 3வது, நண்பன் கிட்டக்க பரிவு வேணும். சுக்ரீவன் முதல்ல ராவணனை பார்த்தான். எப்போனா சேத்து பாலம் எல்லாம் கட்டி அதை கடந்து போச்சு வானர சைன்யம். முதல் நாள் ராத்திரி லங்கையில முகாம் போட்டு இருக்கா. அந்த சமயத்துல மலை உச்சியிலேந்து சுக்ரீவன் ராவணனை பார்த்தான். பார்த்த உடனே கோபம் தாங்காம நேர தாவி போய் ராவணன் அடிச்சானா சுக்ரீவன். ராவணன் அவனை திருப்பி அடிச்சு கிரீடத்தை கட்டி விட்டு அமுச்சு விட்டான். திரும்பி வந்த சுக்ரீவனை பார்த்து ராமர் பதறி போய் ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னார், சுக்ரீவா இப்படி போனியப்பா, இப்படி நீ போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் உனக்கு ஏதாவது ஆயிருந்ததுன்னா அப்புறம் சீத்தை எனக்கு கிடைச்சதுன்னா என்ன பிரயோஜனம், இல்ல லக்ஷ்மணன் பரதன் சத்ருகுணன் நானே எல்லாரும் இருந்து என்ன பிரயோஜனம், நீ ஒருத்த இல்லைன்னா நாங்க யாராவது இருந்து பிரயோஜனம் இருக்கா, உன்ன மாதிரி ஒரு நண்பனை இழந்துட்டு ஏதாவது எனக்கு இந்த உலகத்துல இருக்கிறதுக்கு பிரயோஜனம் இருக்கா அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப பரிவோட சொன்னார் ராமர். அடுத்தபடியா ஒரு நண்பனை எப்பவுமே மரியாதையோட வச்சுக்கணும். இதை எங்க காமிச்சார் ராமர் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா, ராமராவண யுத்தம் எல்லாம் முடிஞ்சு ராவணனை ஜெயிச்சு லங்கைக்கு திரும்பி வந்துட்டார் ராமர். பட்டாபிஷேகம் கண்டருளணும் அப்படிங்கிறச்சு ராமர் தேர்ல வந்தார் 3 தம்பிகளோட. சுக்ரீவன் எங்க வந்தார் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா, சத்ருஞ்சயன் அப்படிங்கிற பட்டத்து யானை மேல சுக்ரீவனை உட்காந்து வச்சு அழிச்சுன்னு வந்தாரா ராமர். பட்டத்து யானை அப்படிங்கிறது ராஜாக்கள், அந்த ஊர் ராஜா அந்த ஊர் ராஜகுமாரன் அவளுக்கு தான் கொடுப்பா. அப்பேற்பட்ட ஒரு ஸ்தானத்தை சுக்ரீவனுக்கு கொடுத்தார் பெருமாள். அப்படிங்கறதுனால நண்பனுக்கு நல்ல மரியாதை செலுத்தணும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பெரிய பாடத்தை காமிச்சு கொடுக்கிறார். So the essence of true friendship is a friend in need is a friend in deed. After this we'll move to today's character. Today's character is a famous character. All these days we were looking at the lesser popular characters of Ramayana. Today we are looking at a very famous character, Bharata. He's my favorite character in the Ramayana, so I didn't want to leave him out in the camp. So since he's the best, I reserved him for the last. Why is Bharata the best? That's because Bharata thought of himself as a belonging of Rama, just like Shatrughna thought that he was a belonging of Bharata. Bharata thought that he was a belonging of Rama, and he actually worded this. Bharata was handed over the kingdom by Vasishtha when Rama went to the forest and Dasharatha had passed away. At that time, the argument that Bharata gave was that, see, I am a property of Rama, and so is this kingdom Ayodhya. So can one property rule over the other? So I am only the proprietor's possession. I am a possession of Rama, just like how the kingdom of Ayodhya is. This was one greatness of Bharata. Another greatness of Bharata is that Bharata was known as Bharata because he bore all the weight. Bhara is weight. Bharata is the one who bore everything. It is said that Shatrughna saw Kaikeyi at this time, like before Bharata went to the forest, Shatrughna saw Kaikeyi and Manthara, and he was very, very angry. He thought of punishing both of them, and Bharata prevented him from doing so. And he told a famous shloka to Shatrughna. Shatrughna asked Bharata, why are you preventing me from punishing this Manthara? She is the reason for all this that has happened. To this, Bharata answered, no, it is not Manthara. It is not because of Manthara that this has happened. Because she is a mere maid, and she is from Kekeya. She wanted a prince of Kekeya to become the king. She had her logical reasoning for thinking so. Bharata tried to argue in Manthara's side to Shatrughna. Then Shatrughna said, okay, I understand this maid did not have so much of intelligence, but the queen Kaikeyi should have been intelligent, right? So it's all Kaikeyi's fault. So Bharata said, I don't think it's Kaikeyi's fault either. Of course, he was unhappy with Kaikeyi because she sent him to the forest, but he still says that I don't think it is Kaikeyi's fault, because she got poisoned by Manthara. She became influenced by some words of hers in a weak moment. It happens even to queens that they fall weak at some times. Then Shatrughna asked, it seems, okay, fine. If you feel it's not Kaikeyi's fault, then I think it should be Dasharatha's fault. Why did Dasharatha have to listen to Kaikeyi? He could have said, keep quiet. I'm going to do what I have decided, what I have announced. I'll make Rama the king. He could have said that, right? To this, Bharata again said, no, it is not the king's fault. The king had given a boon to Kaikeyi. How could he go back on that? Then Shatrughna said, then do you think it is Rama's fault? Why did Rama had to listen to Dasharatha? In fact, Dasharatha didn't even word that Rama go to the forest. He decided to honor Dasharatha's boon on his own. Why should he have done that? He could have refrained from that, isn't it? So, I think it's Rama's fault. Is that so? Shatrughna asked. So that Bharata said, no, it is not Rama's fault at all. Rama has done such a great thing by honoring our father's word. Who will do it? Which son will do it? He is great, said Bharata. Then Shatrughna asked, then why has all this happened? It should be somebody's fault, right? You know what Bharata said? It is only my fault. Matpapamevartha nimittamasit vanapraveshe raghunandanasya. It is all my fault. Bharata is saying. Bharata was not even present when all this happened. He was back in Kekeya when Kaikeyi asked these boons to Dasharatha. When Dasharatha had to agree to these boons, and when Rama said he will go to the forest according to the boons, when Dasharatha passed away, Bharata was not at all around at any of these instances. But he took the blame all on himself. He said, only because a man named Bharata existed that my mother wanted a kingdom for him, right? Had I not been there at all, would there have been a possibility of all this happening? Such was Bharata's character. He was not at all at fault from any angle, even a bit. But he decided to take the blame on himself because he wanted to blame nobody. He could not see wrong in anybody. That is the character of Bharata that we need to understand. See only positives in people. Do not see any negatives that they had. We know that Manthara was bad. We know that Kaikeyi was bad. We know that Dasharatha could have refrained from the boon. But Bharata did not want to blame anybody. He found a logic to understand everybody's position. And he said, if you want to blame anybody, I will take the blame, no problem. That is the kind of magnanimity that Bharata had. So, he is the greatest of characters in Ramayana. So, that was about today's character. Inniki nama paaka pora paatram Bharatan abdingiravar. Bharattai dharittavar Bharatan garthanale avarukku andha thirinamo. Bharatan-giravar dhaan sarvottamamana paatram Ramayanathilanu பக்ஷபாதமா அடியேன்னு சொல்லுவேன். ஏன்னா பரதனுக்கு தன்னை பத்தின சிந்தனையே கிடையாது. தன்னைத்தானே ஒரு பொருளாதான் நினைச்சுட்டார் அவர். ராஜ்யத்தை ஏத்துக்கணும்னு வசிஷ்டர் சொல்லும் பொழுது, ராஜ்யம் நான் ரெண்டுமே ராமனுக்கு சேஷபூதமானவை, ராமனுக்கு அடிபணிஞ்சது, ராமனுடைய சொத்து. அப்படி இருக்கிறச்சே ஒரு சொத்து இன்னொரு சொத்தை எப்படி பாதுகாக்க முடியும்னு சொன்னார் பரதன். அது மட்டும் இல்ல, இந்த மாதிரி நடந்ததுக்கு, ராமர் காட்டுக்கு போனதுக்கு யாரு காரணங்கும் பொழுது தன்மேலேயே அந்த பழி முழுக்க எடுத்துட்டார் பரதன். பரதனுடைய தப்பே கிடையாது அதுல. ஏன்னா பரதன் ஊர்லயே இல்ல இதெல்லாம் நடந்த சமயத்துல. ஆனாலும் யார் மேலயும் தப்பு கிடையாது. மந்தர அப்படி நடந்துன்றதுக்கு காரணம் அவ கேக்கைய நாட்டு வேலைக்காரி. கைகேயி அப்படி நடந்துன்றதுக்கு காரணம் அவளுக்கு அந்த சமயத்துல புத்தி பிரஷ்டம் ஆயிடுது. தசரதர் அப்படி நடந்துன்றதுக்கு காரணம் கைகேயிக்கு வரம் கொடுத்தது. ராமர் அப்படி நடந்துன்றதுக்கு காரணம் அப்பாவனுடைய வார்த்தையை சத்தியமாக்கணுங்கிறது. எல்லாருக்கும் அவாவானுடைய நடத்தைக்கு ஒரு காரணம் இருக்குன்னு நம்பினார் பரதன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். அப்போ இதெல்லாம் நடந்ததுக்கு யாருத்தான் காரணம்னு கேட்டா, நான் தான்ப்பா காரணம். பரதன் தான் பிறக்கவே இல்லைன்னா எங்க அம்மா யாருக்கா ராஜ்யம் கேட்டிருப்போம். என் மேலதான் எல்லா தப்புன்னு வச்சுக்கோ ஏன் அப்படின்னு விட்டார். இதுதான் பெருந்தன்மை அப்படிங்கிறது. யாருக்கிட்டையும் தப்பு கண்டுபிடிக்காம இருக்கணும். தன் மேலையும் தப்பு சொல்லிக்கணும்ன்ற அவசியம் இருக்கா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா, இந்த இடத்துல யார் மேல தப்புன்னு கேள்வி வந்ததுனால அவர் சொல்லிட்டார். ஆமா என் மேல தப்புன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, அதனால என்ன இப்போ அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டார். இதுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய மனசு வேணும். அப்பேற்பட்ட பெரிய பாரத்தை சுமந்த இந்த பரதன் ராமாயணத்தினுடைய பரமநாயகனா எழுந்தருள்றார். After this, we'll go to learning 2 shlokas related to Rama. I'll just explain the meanings, then we'll take the lesson. We'll learn the Rama Pattabhisheka shloka today. Vaidehi sahitam suradrumatale haime mahamantape madhye pushpakamasane manimaye virasane susthitam agre vachayati prabhanjana sute tattvam munibhyah param vyakhyātam bharatadibihi parivritam Ramam bhaje shyamalam. The shloka explains how Rama was seated on a golden throne in a beautiful mandapa, and he was surrounded by all his brothers, and in front of him Hanuman sat reading the Ramayana, and it is said that Rama himself was interpreting the Ramayana and everybody were enjoying the scene. And the second shloka of the day is Rama Mangalam Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. May hail be to the Lord of Kosala Desha, that is Ayodhya, who is an ocean of virtues and who was the son of Dasharatha. Rama liked to be called as Dasharatha's son. Chakravarti Tirumagan is a name in Tamil which is very beautiful, meaning son of Chakravarti Dasharatha. So let us all bow down and sing the auspiciousness of this Sarvabhauma, the one who rules over all worlds, the Chakravarti Tirumagan Rama. We'll learn the shlokas soon. Before that, I'll give you all a crossword to do. We'll post the link of the crossword now. You all can solve the crossword. After that, we'll do a presentation of Sampradaya Manjari, and then we'll get started with your questioning session. Srinidhi, can we have the crossword link posted, ma? Crossword link potacha? Yeah.
போட்டுட்டேனே.
ready பாத்து. Sorry. பண்ணுங்க crossword. Cha. Okay. So we'll display the answers. You would have got the answers if you got them right. Okay. Across 3 was Surasa, 5 was Kokilam, Vande Valmiki Kokilam vandadilya adu. Aprom 6 was Jambavan, 9 was Kumbhakarna, and 10 was belonging. So that was answers for across. For down, 1 was Rishyamuka, 2 was Sampati, 4 Ramachandra, 7 Archery, and 8 Shatrunjaya. Rishyamuka, Sampati, Ramachandra, Archery, Shatrunjaya. Okay, fantastic. With this, we are completing today's presentation. For the benefit of the non-Sampradaya Manjari people here, we'll just take you through a small orientation of our program. Our kids of Sampradaya Manjari here are all a part of us, so they are also presenting this. So what is Sampradaya Manjari ePatashala? This is a curated learning journey with a predefined curriculum for young children and enthusiastic learners. This is a platform which offers a course of 8 years, and we are into the 6th year of our Patashala currently. So our objective is basically to create interest in Sampradaya and to nurture this interest by providing a multi-year program. Many a times what happens is, for some time children have interest in all this and then they get distracted or they have other priorities. But this is something that children need to hold on so that they can get good base and be rooted to our culture. So for that we need to keep them on for some time. That's why we have a 8-year program. So what we actually do is we have learning of stotras and prabandhas in the Santhai format, and then we have language learning at the basic level. We have learning of Sanskrit and Tamil, and we have sessions of stories and values. So how our program runs is, we have Santhai as the major portion because memorizing takes more time, so we invest more time in teaching shlokas and prabandhas. We have Santhai classes for 4 days in a week, from Monday to Thursday. Every day it will be a 1-hour session. We have morning and evening sessions. Morning sessions 6 o'clock, evening 5 or 6 o'clock. And we generally have the class like running for an hour, wherein we teach children from step 1 or sometimes even step 0. We teach them a shloka word by word, like how you have been learning shlokas these last 5 days. Initially we start teaching them word by word, and then we couple words and teach about half a sentence, then we teach half a shloka, and then we teach full shloka. Like this, over a period of 4 weeks, or if required more, we try to complete a module of say about 10 to 20 shlokas. Of course, as the level improves, we cover more number of shlokas in the same period. Now recitation sessions are held to ensure memorization of these shlokas. We make children recite, revise, and we take assessments also to see if the kids have learnt the modules properly. Now why is this memorization important? We need to really understand. First thing is, memorization is good for developing a fertile mind now, which will help them even in their academics. That's one thing. Secondly, these verses of our acharyas, they call as SrI Suktis, they are all very, very auspicious and valuable. Having them in the mind, being able to recollect them, being able to say them aloud itself is a blessing, and it fetches us a lot of unseen fruits. Adrishta phalam, they say. It gives us a very good vibe to recite, and it also gives a lot of mental strength to face any kind of situations, to be better at things, to be progressive, and also memorizing is very, very important. and it's very easy to memorize at a young age. It's very easy to do rote learning at a young age, and doing such memorization of stotras has numerous benefits. Now, as I said, we have 2 slots, morning and evening slots. Morning slots are generally 6 a.m. Evening we have 2 options, 5 and 6. Every year the timings of a particular batch is decided as 5 or 6 in the evenings. Morning it is constant at 6 a.m. Now, pertaining to language classes, we have Sanskrit classes on Friday and Saturday, and we have Tamil classes on Sunday. We may not have both classes running in parallel. We may have Sanskrit classes happening initially, and after that Tamil classes could begin. They keep happening at a very convenient pace, and the duration of language classes are also 1 hour. We teach basics for sure, which is compulsory in our program. We also have advanced levels of language classes which are optional for students. Then we have stories and value sessions which happen either once or twice a month depending on the level that you are. Again, these classes are also for an hour, and stories and value sessions would be more like what we learnt in the camp these 6 days. We'll have moral values being taught through stories, and these stories are all picked up from Itihasas, Puranas, Acharya Parampara and so on. And we have interactive session with kids during story value sessions, and we also have assignments and quizzes happening for story value sessions. Now, parents' support is very important in our program. We need parents to be around and ensure that the child is participating in the program properly and listening to whatever we tell them in class. That's all that is expected. This program is completely free of cost, done only to nurture Sampradayam, nurture kids in Sampradayam. That's the only objective that we have, because it is our duty to be giving something to Sampradayam. Each of us have a duty to do so. We have the duty to teach. As parents, we have the duty to tell our children. As kids, we have the duty to learn Sampradayam. That's when our tradition, our culture will be safeguarded and passed down to the next generation. It's very, very, very valuable because it teaches the right path of life. So it's very important to have this. We also have some programs for kids conducted in our annual flagship event called Sangoshti. We have an event which happens every Margari, that is December, January, in which we have a lot of kids program. I'll just show you some videos regarding that. We have recitation done by kids, group recitation. You can just listen to some of our kids here. We have had some competition happening since last year, like 40 modules over the past 5 years, and we had a competition where kids were questioned anything from these 40 modules, and they were really good at answering. We'll just show you a sample here.
त्वदुदयतूलिकाभिरमुना वृषशैरदिशा चिरचरशिल्पिनैकपरिकल्पितचित्रधियः यदिपतिया मुनः प्रभृतयः कथयन्ति दये जगतिहितं ननस्त्वयि भरण्यसिजादतिकं मृदुहृदये दये मुदितकामहिते महिते ऋतविबुधे बुधेषु विददात् मधुरे मधुरे ऋषगिरिसार्वभौमदहिते महिते महति भौकनिधे निधे हि भवमूलहरावलहरीम्.
And we also had a group quiz wherein kids were told to explain something, like how they were taught stories and values, like how you all learnt in the camp these 5 days, and then something from that was picked up and they were told to explain this. So let's have a glimpse of one such explanation. Mamuni tolta nile vandu
உலோகசாரங் இது திருப்பானாழ்வாரோட கதை பாசுரத்துல பிரபந்த சாரத்துல வருது. உலகதேமயத்துல உலோகசாரங்க மாமுனின்னு ஒரு மகாமுனி இருந்த. அவர் பெரும் ரங்கநாதரோட பக்தரா இருந்த. திருப்பானாழ்வார் காவேரி ஆற்றின் கரையில அவர் நிறைய பாட்டுலாம் பாடுவார் ரங்கநாதருக்கு. அவர் பாட்டு பாடின்னு இருக்கச்சு லோகசாரங்க மாமுனி அவர் மேல கல்ல தூக்கி போட்டு நடந்துக்கோன்னு சொன்னார். நடந்து திருத்தம் பெருமாளுக்கு எடுத்துன்னு போனார். அப்புறம் திரும்பியும் உள்ள போச்சு. பெருமாள் ரொம்ப சோகமா இருந்த மாதிரி இருந்தது. அதனால ரங்கநாதர் கிட்ட உலோகசாரங்க மாமுனி கேட்கச்சே என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு அவர் சொன்னார், திருப்பாவார் என்னோட பக்தர், அவரை இந்த மாதிரி அபச்சாரப்படக்கூடாதுன்னு சொன்னதுனால அவரை இங்க கூட்டின் வரும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். லோகசாரங்க மாமுனி திரும்பியும் திருப்பானாழ்வார் கிட்ட போய் அடியனை மன்னிக்கணும், என் தோல் மேல ஏறிட்டு கோயில் வரைக்கும் வரும் ரங்கநாதருடைய ஆணை அப்படின்னு சொன்னேன். அதனால முனிவாகனன்னு திருப்பானாழ்வார் திருநாமம்.
So this is how kids have been participating in all the quizzes. So this is a brief about SMeP. In case anybody is interested in joining SMeP, we would post forms for that. Actually our program begins every Vijayadashmi, so we are about halfway through the first year now, I mean for the first year batch, but you could join the program even now and complete the modules that have been covered till now later. So we are opening up once more this year because there are many non-SMeP takers in this camp. So in case anybody is interested, you could join. We'll post the form in the chat now and also in the WhatsApp group later in case you are interested in joining. So that was the briefing Adian had to give regarding Sampradaya Manjari. Now we'll just learn the 2 shlokas, after which we'll have presentation from kids. Okay, so today's shlokas will be recited by let me pick up 2 volunteers. I'm not seeing any hands up today. Okay, Shri Nandita, you can recite, and Ashraya you can recite. Okay, Shri Nandita and Ashraya can recite the 2 shlokas, after which we'll have the interactive session.
Adiyan
Sallama
Adiyan Srimati
do Srimati ma'am sollu stop
Adiyan screen वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे 2 times महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने
அனியன் ரிப்பீட் பண்றீங்க?
पुष्पकमासने
पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितं
अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते
न सुते
तत्त्वं
तत्त्वं तत्त्वं
मुनिभ्यः परम्
मुनिभिः परं मुनिभिः परं
व्याख्यातं
व्याख्यातं व्याख्यातं
भरतादिभिः
அது ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணுங்க
भरतादिभिः
भरतादिभिः भरतादिभिः
परिवृतं
परिवृतं परिवृतं
रामं
रामं रामं
भजे श्यामलं
भजे श्यामलं भजे श्यामलं धन्यवाद मेरी
मङ्गलं
मङ्गलं मङ्गलं
कोसलेन्द्राय
कोसलेन्द्राय कोसलेन्द्राय
महनीय
महनीय महनीय
गुणाब्धये
गुणाब्दये गुणाब्दये
चक्रवर्ती
चक्रवर्ती चक्रवर्ती
तनूजाय
तनूजाय तनूजाय
सार्वभौमाय
सार्वभौमाय सार्वभौमाय
मङ्गलम्
मङ्गलं मङ्गलं कन्यास्मि
சரி தன்யாசிமா ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்